Listener discretion advised. Now, here's Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Hey,
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, all right. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. He's a board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist, and a pedophile. Now,
No.
Drew.
Yeah.
Just got back from Minnesota.
Yeah, how was that?
Lovely Minnesota. Was there for the big Edge Fest thing they had. 30,000 screaming fans.
Amazing.
Got hit with a Birkenstock and some quarters out on stage. The kids love me.
What did you say?
Oh, they told me to stall for 10 minutes. You know, that goes over in front of 30,000 people. I can't even stall in my own goddamn living room. So much less at Woodstock. But I had a good time, and I got to say hi to a lot of the bands that we have had on the show over the past months. Gravity Kills and, who did I love so much? Verpipe wasn't there, but Goldfinger and No Doubt and everybody. So it was like a little reunion thing. So I had a good time.
Nice.
And Drew, what'd you do this weekend?
Mostly cleaned up vomit.
Fantastic.
Yeah, my kids are sick. 2 of the 3 are just barfing constantly. It's just terrible.
Now, can't you just keep them out back?
At times.
I mean, they're going to vomit.
Keep them on the corral?
Do you do it like you have a cat,
yeah,
right? And then when your cat gets a fur ball,
you pick it up and throw it outside.
You got about 15 seconds to get. It's like
kids,
it's like a MacGyver episode. The cat is going to explode. You hear the cat go, and you pick the thing up and just start running, and it's heaving while you're carrying it.
Same thing with kids, except you head for the toilet or the sink.
Oh, okay.
Or you run for a towel or something. But my poor kid, I spent the weekend with the family. It's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Or tomorrow is, anyway. And what?
I had a little problem over the weekend. I didn't have a problem, but somebody came up to me.
Yeah.
I promised the guy I wouldn't say his name, but he's on the station over there, the Edge in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And he said he had a little difficulty. He lost his erection because he was struggling putting on the condom.
Right.
And during that time, and what happens is the clock is running during that period. Precious blood is going from the penis to the brain.
Right.
Because right in the middle of this real visceral act.
Right.
You're getting it on, you're rubbing, you're grabbing, your brain's going 100 miles an hour, your penis is pressed up on the side of the jeans and everything. And all of a sudden, you have to stop and put the condom on. That's right. And oftentimes it's dark. Oftentimes you're drunk. If you're like me, you have sweat dripping down your forehead that's blinded you.
You got a picture of Hey Vernon's Ernest in front of you, probably.
Right. You don't want to look at the Ernest picture too long. And the point is
but more importantly, you get anxious.
You get anxious.
If that starts to happen, you get anxious, you're done.
Time to think is basically what screws you. And I thought, they teach people about condoms a lot, but they don't really. I was thinking, teenage guys, if you're listening, you should be going through some dry runs. You should be in your bathroom or in your bedroom with nobody else around, maybe just a stopwatch, and you should be going for time. You should be seeing, like in the military when they tell you to break down the rifle and clean it and assemble it again, and the master sergeant is there with a stopwatch. I mean, people should be doing this. At least guys should. Because then when the moment of truth is upon you, you want to be ready. You want to be like that Marine.
I hate to say it, but I have to agree with you because really everybody should be able to put it on with one hand in the dark just to make sure they do it so they don't fumble and feel uncomfortable and they're really prepared. It's like practicing for anything else. I don't really agree with you, but
you
concept,
do.
I agree
you know
with
what
you.
I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
And I'm suggesting...
It's ludicrous, but I have to somehow agree
But
with
it makes a certain retarded sense, doesn't it?
Very retarded.
Nobody ever practices putting one on.
That's right.
You see it in the health class, they roll it over the cucumber, you get the idea. But, you could spend 10 minutes just putting it on the wrong way.
That's right.
I even forget to take the wrapper off sometimes if I'm really heated up. Let me say this. I have an invention, Drew.
Oh, okay.
The condom speed loader.
Condom applicators.
Yeah. Absolutely. You could incorporate it into the nightstand somehow, where you just sort of dipped and pulled back and pop. It was on. Yeah, like when they reload ammunition casings or something. All right, Drew, you ready to go?
Thank you.
You pulled the handle?
I'm ready.
All right. Rip 21.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
I'd like to say, like everybody does, but I'm saying it sincerely. You guys got a great show.
Thank you.
And both you guys are excellent. And when they pick Drew Whatever. I need both your opinions on this. Okay, come from a very alcoholic family, German, Irish, and Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at my cousin's bar on Friday, and I stopped drinking for a while, but I was having a good time that night. I had a couple beers, and well, I almost got into a fight, and guess who with it was? Well, Green Beret from Nam, and I didn't know that.
That's
but he
lovely.
was drunker than me. But anyways, I got a problem with the girl. I haven't been active at all, sexually or relationship-wise, pretty much with anybody for 2 years. I'm kind of a loner. Everybody knows me in Lake County. I've gone to 4 different high schools. I've been all over the county because of my family and all the problems I have. But whatever.
So are they all still alcoholics?
My father is, my uncle is, and my aunt is.
All right, so let's get loaded and round up some Jews.
That's like
basically the family activity?
What's that?
That's the activity you guys do on the weekend?
No, just me now, basically. I don't hang out with my dad anymore. Last time I tried to live with him, he tried to hit me with a 2x4. So.
Wow. I'm
so
sorry.
I've been through pretty much everything, and girls I've been trying to stay with because I'm trying to get my life back together. I'm 21 right now, laborer, carpenter, electrician. You know where I'm coming from, Adam.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, and we talk about just about everything, and it kind of gets us by, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm right now not working, and I got some money. I got a little bit saved.
All right. Well, enough about the history of Rip.
Okay.
Do you have a question? Well, wait a minute. Let me ask Drew something real quick, Rip. Hang on a second. Drew, you see a lot of patients, a lot of different nationalities and whatnot.
Right.
And you know that there's certain problems that go with certain cultures and certain nationalities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people don't know this.
Oh, yes.
I mean, people think it's a joke. The guy's a Mick, he's a lush, you know, what have you.
You're going to like this. This is really interesting.
Tell this, because I love this stuff.
Have I told you this before?
You told me off the air, but I wasn't listening.
And that is that there are really ethnic, regional, take a disease like alcoholism and other behavioral disorders, in fact, but alcoholism is the one that I know the most about. And there are clearly ethnic, regional potentials or probabilities that somebody is going to be likely to get this disease. If you're Scottish, if you're Irish, if you're Northern European, the reason I believe this is that alcoholics are better survivors, that they withstand natural selection better. If you look at populations of humans that have been wiped out repeatedly by war and famine, Scottish, sometimes the English wiped them out, the Irish, same thing. The people that are left standing at the end of the battles are always the alcoholics. And you go watch the movie Braveheart. It's a perfect example of this. They're all alcoholics, but they aren't using alcoholics when they're fighting battles. They don't, they may not ever use alcohol even in their life, but they give birth to other alcoholics, and they're the only ones left breeding because everybody else gets wiped out.
All right, so it's sort of like, I don't know if this is a good example or not, but guy gets in a car crash. The guy's loaded. I mean, the guy's got a
I mean
.30.
No. I mean, they're literally better survivors. They tend to pursue thrill, and so like in a battle and whatnot, they don't tend to turn and run. They tend to go towards the action.
But I know, but wouldn't that get them killed faster?
It doesn't. Tends not to. They tend to have very limited fear too. As I
all right, so this doesn't sound like such a bad deal. This alcoholism.
If people accept it as our society looks at it as some kind of a purely negative thing or some kind of weakness of willpower, which it isn't. It's just this biological predisposition that people need to deal with in a systematic way and get treatment for.
Okay, so Drew says boozing is good. Rip?
Can I
That's not what I said.
That's what I heard.
Rip,
make one comment on what he said?
Yeah, go ahead.
He is totally correct, but there's one other factor. We all have so much anger in us because what we went through from our alcoholic family. You know
that's a different issue. That determines, to my estimation, how intense your alcoholism becomes and when it comes on.
100% Germans. One died at 56. One died.
But you had intense alcoholism. It was not. Some people can live their whole life just with a predisposition for this disease.
True.
All right, Rip. I have your whole tree figured out. I've planted it.
Cool.
I'm going to pee on it in a minute. I'm going to pee on the family tree like a dog.
Go ahead.
What's your question?
Unfortunately, I met a girl, and I didn't mean to. It just happened, which is a good thing, right?
All right.
When you're not looking, you get it. Okay, I met this girl in a bar. That's the first problem I have. Second problem is I would have totally fell in love with her if I got to talk to her more. Third, she collapsed my walls of safety against, people, and I'm at the point in my life right now where I just got to deal with myself.
All right. Are you having a relationship with her?
No, No, I just met her, man, Friday.
But you feel vulnerable and emotionally open around her.
I actually talked to my mom, and I hate my mom about it. I talked to my mom about this, dude.
I mean, you just chatted her up at the bar.
No, it was more than that. She was holding stuff for me. She was, she's complimenting.
Wait a minute, holding a coaster or your penis?
No.
What was she holding?
My checkbook and my necklaces, and because I'm.
That's good. Why don't you give her a few fillings too while you're at it, Rip?
I did.
Okay, Rip, I think it's fine that you're being emotionally open with this person. I think, though, given your history, once somebody gets in with you on any kind of an intimate level, it's going to be very difficult for you to sustain. Tread lightly. Make sure it's somebody with whom you can have a stable relationship, and go slow.
Megan, 14, you're on Loveline.
Hi.
Hey.
I take birth control, and my mom says it's a low dose, but I was wondering if I can still get pregnant, because I don't know, what a low dose is.
No. Low dose is usually referring to the estrogen content in the pill.
Because I took a pregnancy test, and it turned up positive, but then I took 2 more, and they were negative.
Okay. Were you taking the pill properly?
Yeah, I was taking 1 a night.
You took it the same time every night?
Yeah.
And you weren't taking any other medications?
No other medications.
Then you shouldn't be pregnant. It'd be very unusual.
Megan.
Uh-huh.
You're kind of young to be on birth control, aren't you?
Well, it, regulates my periods, but still my periods they only last a day.
Yeah, but you're using it for more than just period regulation.
Yeah,
right?
I am.
Right, which is good if you're going to be sexually active.
Uh-huh.
But I think what Adam is saying you feel comfortable being sexually active at 14?
Yeah, I guess I do.
That wouldn't be a bad slogan for the birth control people. It's not just for period regulation anymore. Megan, how were you 13 when you first had sex?
No, I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you waited until you were a little more seasoned.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Are you still doing that now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. You got a boyfriend?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Everything cool?
Yeah. Can you hold on, really quick?
No.
Okay.
See ya. Hold on. Ryan, 16, you're on Loveline.
Yeah, I got a little problem. I'm addicted to masturbation, and I don't know what to do about it.
All right, well, let me be the judge of that.
All right. When I come in the morning, I'm waking up 6:30, getting ready for school. After I brush the teeth, just sit down and just do it. All right.
Hold on. Let me get your whacking schedule down, Ryan.
Okay.
I'll put it next to mine. Ryan, okay, 6:30, you squeeze one off.
Yeah. Okay, then I go to school.
All right.
I get back about 2:30.
2:30.
Yeah, about 2:45. I do it.
All right, so oh, wait a minute, I wrote 2:30, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2:45, you do another one.
Yeah.
So we're only at 2.
Yeah.
You're well into the afternoon.
Well, no, because I'm up until about 12 o'clock every night.
All right, well, let's continue.
Okay.
2:45, yes.
And then maybe 5. Yeah, around 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, all right.
And then again around 9.
Right.
And then maybe another one about 11.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing it about 5 times a day, and I don't know what's wrong with me.
1, 2, 3.
And I'm running out of porn mags here, too.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Let me give you a piece of advice.
Yeah.
Don't give away any of those porn mags.
It's already too late.
Oh.
I just kept one for myself.
Oh, Ryan, you will miss them like that kid missed Old Yeller.
Oh, really?
Oh, believe me. I swear to God, it's the weirdest thing in the world. Drew, don't even try to identify. But you look at these magazines and you build... Ryan, this is your first girlfriend, this magazine.
Yeah, I know.
Right? I mean, this is like... When I look back on some of my high school sweethearts, they're underneath my bathroom sink.
Yeah.
And you build a relationship with these things.
Yeah.
For Christ's sake, I mean, I actually took a few with me. I did a theater, dancing once, ripped a page. And...
The thing is, though, but I'm doing it like my friends' houses.
All right, well, hold on, Ryan. We'll get to that.
Okay.
I'm just warning you and anyone else listening, do not give these things away because you get burnt out on them. You go, I never want to see it again. And you give it away, and then about 6 months later, you would kill for that, like a Joe DiMaggio baseball card or something.
But the thing is I dish them out, and I just go and pick up new ones, so I'm just going through a cycle.
Yeah, but one day you're gonna reflect. You're going to sit down and cry. You understand?
But I moved up to movies, too.
How
Okay,
long have
good
you been
man.
doing this?
I got lots of movies now.
How long have you been doing this for, Ryan?
2 years.
Wow.
2 years. So at 5, you're 5 times a day for 2 years.
Yeah, about 5
Sounds
times.
like you're...
I started off like one time.
Sounds like you're escaping something to me.
I don't know.
What would you be escaping?
I have no idea. That's the thing.
Things are fine in your life otherwise?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No boredom, nothing, no void you're filling with this?
No.
You do your homework, you're active in school, you socialize well.
I get good grades.
You got a really close relationship with both your parents?
Yeah.
Well, Drew, there's people that never masturbate that don't have all the crap you were just talking about.
Just seeing how he perceives things.
Ryan.
Yeah.
So you peel them off at your friend's house, too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's respect.
Everywhere.
That's everywhere?
Yeah.
You just mark your little territory, don't you?
Like in the corner of rooms and stuff.
All right, Ryan. Well, here's what I would say to anybody who feels they have a problem with anything. Obviously, going cold jerky is not an option for you.
Uh-huh.
But what you do is you cut back a little.
Yeah, I've been trying that. And
you go, let's say you're doing 5 now.
Yeah.
You go back to like 3.5.
Okay. How do I do half?
Oh, that's the magic.
Okay, I'm going to quit now.
No, there's no halves. That's it. There's only the have-nots.
Okay.
All right, Ryan, please go for 3 and call us back in a few weeks.
And keep in mind that this kind of acting up is typically a response to some undealt with aggression or improperly dealt with aggression.
Well, maybe he's mad at his penis. And he wants to beat it?
He better go cold jerky.
Dre, 24.
How you doing?
Good.
No, I'm not doing so good.
All right, we're going to fix you.
Man, please.
All right.
I've been torn up by my old lady, man. She's sleeping with another man. She took my kid away from me and
are you married to her?
No. We were getting close.
Just because they have a few kids doesn't mean they need to get married.
I just can't get that through my head that the kids come first.
You'd rather have a rusty sprinkler key put up your bottom, wouldn't you, than have her sleep with another guy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a certain kind of pain.
The reason I figured this out was like about a month ago. We used to do some nasty things, and I started getting a stinchy smell.
Oh, get lost.
Really?
No, come on.
Really? And I started wondering, and I kept asking her, what's up? Nothing, I said, are you sleeping with someone in front of my son? And she says, that's disgusting. And to me, that was a giveaway. Every time I tried to call, she would just, the phone was busy, and,
Well, if there was a smell, that means that there was an infection. So you got to get yourself.
I'm telling you.
I understand, but you got to get yourself checked out if that's the case.
I don't feel good, man.
Dre.
I got thrown in jail and a restraining order put on me, and I can't see my kid, and she knows. She knows the truth, and she just did this all just to make me get out so she can get someone else in, man.
I'm having a flashback.
Yeah.
Dre, listen, here's the important thing.
Okay.
Here's my advice to you and anyone else who's going through this. We're not going to be able to do anything about the pain. We're not going to be able to talk you out of it. We're not really going to be able to do anything about the weird feelings that come with this and the impulses that come with this. But all we can do, just listen, Dre.
Yes, sir.
Is we got to keep you out of trouble until the storm passes.
I'm telling you.
You got to batten down the hatches. You got to take all the valuables and breakables and put them in a sack and put them in the cellar. Because the storm, you're in the middle of the storm. And the important thing for you to do is to weather this without getting thrown in jail.
Yes, sir.
Without losing all custody or rights to the child, without hurting her or hurting yourself or hurting this third-party guy with the stinky penis.
Ooh.
All right, sorry. I had to work it in.
Ooh.
It's an entertainment show, Dre.
I understand.
All right, that's what the important thing is, because you're going to find yourself another woman, and everything's going to change, and everything's going to be good in a few months. It absolutely will, because it always is.
Yep.
But you got to get through this period. And you can't get through it by getting loaded and going over to her house and busting the restraining order or busting her window or busting her jaw.
Won't do it, man.
Just relax now. It's not a bad time to sort of like find yourself a little bit. I know that sounds corny, but I mean, do a little reflecting, Dre. Or just rent some porn. But don't get into trouble.
I won't.
It'll all be, by Christmas, this will all be a memory. So
That's
just
your birthday.
What's that?
It's her birthday.
All right. Well, maybe it'll come back up for a little bit then, but you'll put a little coal in their stocking, and that'll be that. All right, Trey?
I'm going to ask you, I'm going to tell you something. I'm happy for her.
Good.
This is what she wants. She can have it.
Good. Well,
we'll keep
she's got it, but just don't do anything stupid in the interim. That's where guys get. That's really the difference between criminals and law-abiding citizens. Is the criminals get in jail because they do stupid things when they're all heated up, and everyone wants to do it. It's just you can't act on it. You're going to hurt somebody, and you're going to screw your life up. Right, Drew?
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Heidi Fleiss, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Two names that wish they could be found in the Little Black Book.
Mm-hmm. Is she in the clink yet, Drew?
I don't know. I'm not keeping track of the Heidi Fleiss story right
now. I'm not going to say anything about her. Because that always seems to lead to trouble with the...
LA Vice Squad.
Yes, the authorities, so no more of that. This week, Slayer, we have also Dr. Mancini from Melrose Place will be in here. Thomas Calabra, I think is his last name. Imperial Drag will be here, so we have a big week. But tonight, it's just me and the good doctor. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the phone number. 310-854-4455.
Check the faxes.
That'd be the fax number.
Talking to the other room.
Oh, okay. Why don't you do it during the commercial?
All right.
Gary, 17, you're on Loveline.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, you guys are in my black book. I just want to let you all know.
Thank you.
I got a big problem.
We're listening.
You're listening?
Yes. Listen, let me just say this. Let me put this out there to all the listeners. Do not expect Dr. Drew and I to react every time you say one of those, here's what type of statements. We sit here all night, all week, and listen to a bunch of screwed up people calls. We could care less. Right, Drew?
That's not true.
Ah, come on, Drew. You don't care.
You're a jerk.
You're here for the money.
No.
Did you just say the S word?
No, I said you're a jerk.
You said half a S before that jerk came in. But the point is we hear a lot of calls, probably bigger problems than what you have, Gary. So do not expect us to go, oh, what? Hold on. Yeah.
No, it's not because not care. It's because you're calling because you have a problem. And
okay.
no need to state the obvious.
All right, I thought that you didn't care. Gary?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, my parents just got recently divorced, and my dad remarried real quickly. He married a 27-year-old. And he's 40, and that was strange at first, but they've been married about a month now, and about 2 weeks ago she starts coming on to me, and it's like really...
What was she doing exactly?
Well, the first time I was outside in my backyard at my pool, and she came outside, and my dad wasn't home, and she was in like a bikini. She came over, and she was just like came down and sat next to me and asked for a back rub and stuff.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that's something.
Inappropriate.
The back rubs. Yeah. That's...
No, I said no, but then she got in front of me and took off the top of her swimsuit and was like,
wow.
I was like,
oh, boy.
I was like,
Gary, how tough for you. I mean, it's so inappropriate of her to put you in that position. I mean, she is your parent. She may not. She's the stepmom. Hey, Gary, she is the stepmom. She is the stepmom.
She was the Avon lady a month ago. She's not a parent.
Well, she's not behaving like one, that's for sure. But that's what role she is in his family.
Let me try to get a picture here, Drew. Hold on. What does she look like, Gary?
God.
Well, please, it's important.
all right.
Slow down. Go ahead.
About 5'8", brown hair, long brown hair, real nice body.
Mm-hmm.
But she's my stepmom.
Right. Now, I'm not saying you should do anything, but I want to know, you're 17, you're going insane, right?
Yeah.
Sexually?
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty hard up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the dog has to walk backwards in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like right into the little doghouse. They used to back into the doghouse. I know how you are at 17, and that's, just seeing some breasts at 17 is enough.
And yet Gary is healthy enough to understand that those kinds of impulses do not overwhelm him, and he sees this as ridiculous and inappropriate and scary. I'm sure it was frightening to you and confusing, and thank God you didn't do anything.
Well, maybe he did. Let's hear.
Well, because I also have a girlfriend, and she...
All right. Gary sounds like a good guy.
Gary, did you do anything?
Huh?
All right, she took the top off.
Yeah, and I was like, straight up, I asked her, I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, she didn't say anything. It was just weird, awkward. It's like a flash.
Okay, then did she basically just put the top back on and go in the house?
Yeah.
Okay. And you haven't said anything to your dad?
No.
Well, also, this wasn't the only thing that happened, right?
Well, I mean, she'll come by and, like, feel on my butt. And
Yeah,
stuff.
Gary, you have two choices. You can never be around this woman alone, or you can tell your dad. I think those are your only two choices.
Well, there's a third choice, but
call the police. No, there's not a third choice. What is the third choice?
Well,
what is say it? I want to hear you say it.
He could have
sex. He could not do that. That is not a choice.
I'm not saying it's the right choice.
The third choice,
though.
Third choice, he could contact the police because she's actually contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Oh, look, it takes him an hour to get out to the house when there's a prowler in the yard. It'd take him 4 days to show up at Gary's house.
Well, if I tell my dad, I don't know. I mean, I know that's probably a good thing to do. I don't know how he's going to react.
That's bad. No,
I think the first thing for you to do, you can think long and hard about whether or not you want to tell your dad, but the first thing to do is never be around her alone. You got that? Because this woman, I'm sorry, but she's crazy. And there's no telling what kind of risk she'll take or what's going on. She has no boundaries. She, this is somebody that's capable of a lot of things, and this is just the beginning, I suspect. Your dad will find out soon enough. You don't have to run out and tell him immediately. You've got time to think about it. But in the meantime, never be alone with her.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely going to move on to the pool man. I mean, once Gary snubs her. But what I would suggest Gary do is Gary talk to her and say, look, you know what's going on. I know what's going on. And it better end right here.
I don't,
because if Dad finds out what's going on, what? No,
because if she's crazy enough to do all this stuff, she'll either threaten him in some way to try to manipulate him in some way if he continues to have contact with her. She will. He needs to end contact, not be around her.
He lives in a house with her.
Avoid her. I'm telling you something.
Avoid her. There's
tell your dad.
kitchen.
Then tell your dad.
She comes down the hall.
Then tell the dad. Then she's got to tell the dad. That's it. He's got to tell. I'm not saying avoid her.
You can't tell people to avoid people who live in the same house. It's like telling two hamsters to avoid each other in a habit trail.
But he can avoid her. B, he can certainly not be alone with her much.
All right. I think he should threaten her. Blackmail. Absolutely.
She'll win.
Always works.
He's 17. He's 17.
Yeah, but he's got the mind of almost an 18-year-old. Lee, 31.
How are you?
Good.
Well, my question's not as trivial as his. Anyway.
As trivial as his?
Well, I feel kind of awkward. No, I was married for like 7 years. I have a couple of kids, and I'm having difficulty getting back into the swing of things, dating, sex, and all that stuff, because the only person I ever slept with was my husband.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of refreshing. I would definitely bring that up.
Well, another twist to the thing is I care for my brother who has AIDS.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, don't bring that up.
Okay.
All right, so you bring... All right, let's just backtrack here for a second. You bring up the fact that you've only been with one man.
Right.
You don't bring up the brother thing.
Well, yeah.
And you may want to enhance the only been with one man thing is that it had almost no penis.
Well, I have all these desires, and my friends want to set me up with all these people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of particular. You know what I mean? I don't give it away to anybody, even though I have these desires. I'm just not going to...
That's fine. What's wrong with that?
Well, it just feels kind of weird, because it's kind of hard to get back out in the dating thing. And
why don't you date with no intent? Just date to get out and socialize and interact with people.
True.
I mean, don't be so worried about having sex or having a relationship. Just get out and start.
The hormones are overwhelming sometimes.
Oh, she's going through that change. She's going through what we were going through when we were 17.
Right.
Except for we had to go through it with a voice cracking and acne on our forehead and funky Brillo hair, and what a cruel joke God plays on us.
When you say we, us.
We, I mean you, me, and humanity. Everyone who wears pants. And
had nappy hair and
well, all right. Lee.
Yeah.
How long's it been since you've been with a man?
Almost 2 years.
Oh, my groin hurt when I heard that. Do you pleasure Lee? Do you pleasure yourself?
I've tried, but I have 2 kids, and it's kind of difficult.
Well, it's not.
They'll wake up and get in bed with me, so.
Lee.
Yeah.
But there's always time to pleasure yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I was raised Catholic too, so.
Okay, but it's time to drop the crucifix and pick up the vibrator.
Okay.
You understand? you're getting older. You're getting into your prime. You're going to start going batty.
Yeah, that's true.
And it sounds like you're pretty picky.
I am very picky.
Which is fine.
But I'm just saying, in the interim, you better come up with a contingency plan, and that would be pleasuring yourself.
This is true.
Okay, now that I've talked you into masturbation, yeah, go out and date, and you don't have to have any intent behind it. Not all dates need to end up in sex.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Believe me, I know that too. All right, Lee?
Okay.
Just get out there.
Okay, and I want to thank you because you came up to our area recently for a benefit concert, and I want to thank you for doing that.
Well, where was it?
San Luis Obispo.
San Luis, beautiful town.
Yes.
You never find a man there, though. All right. I was all the man that town ever knew when I left.
Yeah.
All the men left when I pulled out of San Luis. Oh, they hate that. Matt, 20, you're on Loveline.
Yeah, what's happening?
Hey.
Hey, you guys are the greatest.
Thank you.
Okay, I got everybody down here in Fresno to listen to you guys. I just wanted you to know that.
Oh, good.
But I want to know about nitrous. Is it like, what can it do to you?
Well, a lot of things. We just had a couple of kids blow up on the freeway here in Southern California with that compound in their car.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Didn't you hear about that?
When was this?
A car accident. It was last weekend. Maybe it was over the weekend while you were gone. But that's that's sort of a mechanical issue. It's more of the medical problem.
Well, wait a minute. What's the story?
I really don't know it. I just know that it was an explosion in the car and nitrous was involved.
Well, they probably had a nitrous oxide tank on their car.
No. It was abuse.
They were getting high.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are the obvious risks of using the drug. There, again, sort of the kind of accidents associated with this drug that have been commonly reported. People doing it when they're swimming and drowning. People doing it in a closed automobile and losing all the oxygen in the car.
Slipping in a puddle of your own saliva because your mouth is hung open.
Guess what? And that's the other thing. You're receiving anesthesia in a rave or in a party administered by your friends. And for me, you could keep me on a cardiac monitor and have somebody trained to administer the anesthesia because anesthesia has risks.
Well, you can afford it, but Matt can't go to a doctor to get high.
Cut it out. You can have cardiac events. You can have rhythm problems. God knows you can fall down. You can have respiratory problems. There are more dreaded complications for people who use a lot of nitrous. You can get psychotic. You start seeing things and believing things are happening that are not. And you can get what's called ascending neuropathy, where you begin losing your motor function in your feet, and it moves all the way up your body to your neck. So it's like having a neck broken, and you end up in a breathing machine.
Matt?
Yeah.
You want to end up in an iron lung?
No.
Let me explain something, Matt, without at the risk of being insulting.
Uh-huh.
You already have a strike against you because your name is Matt.
Oh, that's messed up, Adam.
No, it's true. Guys named Matt are, they're Matt. Hey, it's Matt. It's never Emperor Matt or Chancellor Matt. It's not President Matt.
Uh-huh.
It's not CEO Matt. It's Matt. You see? You following me, Matt?
Yeah.
You don't need to be screwing with the brain. Now, if your name was Gerald, I'd say go out and try a little nitrous.
Uh-huh.
But Matt or Mike or Rick or Tom, you guys stay away from that stuff.
Now, what about
Mike the engineer's looking at me. But you know I'm right. Come on, I work with these guys. I'll throw Steve in there, too, although that can go either way.
Basically all one-syllable names?
One-syllable names? Yeah. Stay off the hard stuff. You're already starting with a disability.
But if it's like One Nut Mike, then,
One Nut Mike's fine.
You could probably do it then.
Yeah, he's a genius over there.
You're throwing some doubt into the two-syllable names. His real name may be Matthew.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's whatever anyone calls you. And parents who name their kids Matthew, rest assured, they're going to turn into Matt one day. I have a friend who named his son Michael. And I realized the guy's Mike. He'll now be Mike. A beautiful name, though. I enjoy it. Here is the phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191. Fax number, 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. He's the one with the triplets that vomit. Are they nude while they vomit, by the way?
You'd rather they were if they're not. Paulina got stuff all over 2 sets of clothing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was lovely. I feel... You have no idea what it's like to have sick kids. It makes you absolutely...
Some Paulina... Yeah, I've had naked girls run around my apartment vomiting before.
It makes you nuts. I mean, it's just terrible.
Drew?
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to check into that killer sperm video that I yelled
found
at you?
it, and I'm going to bring it to you. I wanted to watch it myself.
That's huge.
Look,
you found it.
Hey,
you
look.
found it. We gave it to you 3 days ago. Would you go down to some vault?
In my house, the kids command the television and the video machine. It's just hell to try to wrestle it away from them. Believe me.
You should have never brought it home. We could have watched it right here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because I don't want to drop the ball on this.
All right,
I want to know about the killer sperm.
I know where it is. I'll bring it in. No problem. I'll set it up tonight.
All right. What do? Put it in front of the door?
I put it in my car keys.
Oh, really?
Or I put it in my car.
Oh, you're crafty. See, I just wedge it in my ass if I want to bring something with me. Nick, 14, you're on Loveline.
Yeah, I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yes, Nick.
But first, I'd like to say you guys rock, and Mike, you do a great job.
Thanks, Nick. Boy, it's all kudos
are
tonight.
Are they coaching in the room or something?
Yeah, I think they must be giving away T-shirts or something. The phone screeners. Did the screeners tell you to say that?
Oh no, actually, this is my third time calling in.
Wow. All right, Nick, what do you need?
Okay, can I say something before I ask you the question?
Yes.
Okay, you know the weenie roast?
Yes.
Well, anyway, on Y107, I flipped the station on accident. They're giving away weenie roast tickets.
Really?
They suck so hard they want to give away K-Rock stuff.
All right, so for everyone else listening who doesn't know what we're talking about, the Weenie Roast is the local mother station here, big summer concert thing that I was at the equivalent of in Minneapolis last weekend. So anyway, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, okay, anyway, some of my friends and I are sitting in class, and just I'll be sitting next to Jason or something, and then we'll have to get up or something.
You know Jason, don't you, Adam?
Yeah, I call him Jay, but go ahead.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I get a Woody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what if I'm called to get up? I have to make up a lame excuse. Oh, no, I have to get something out of my book bag. And I have to take a while for it to go down.
You know, I wonder if, say, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade teachers are actually factor that in. Are they sensitive to that?
You know,
I mean, they should be, really, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
No, I mean, if a guy goes, I can't get, they should just go, okay, all right, okay.
Are you saying hold on, Nick, you mean like in shop class when they have those dorky little illustrations about some guy getting his head caught in a bench vise or something, they should also have a little safety one like no wood is good or something, or some poor kid in a pair of sweatpants with an erection writing on the chalkboard?
I do. I have the same teacher from math and science, and with her I can joke around something. And sometimes I'll make a joke when I don't, so I can cover up when I do. Oh, I got a Woody, can't stand up or something.
Right.
No,
but is there anything I can take or anything I can?
No. It's normal, natural. Everybody gets to deal with that.
That's really embarrassing.
I just
saltpeter.
No, okay.
I think there's saltpeter in cigarettes, Nick. If you started
Oh.
smoking.
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Well, I'm addressing the problem
Come on,
here,
stop.
Drew.
Nick, he's not even kidding about that. I mean, that's beyond not even funny.
But seriously, what about heroin? That certainly would make you dysfunctional.
Guys, I can be sitting next to my friend Ann or something, and then all of a sudden she'll say, "Hey, Nick, come here," or just all of a sudden, or Jenny will ask me to help her with a math problem or something.
Nick, there's many different scenarios in which your penis is a problem. We understand that very clearly. All right? And this is something that happens. And it certainly does not happen when you're older. It doesn't, does it, Drew?
It's a shame, isn't it?
It really is, because there's something wonderful and spontaneous about that. It's really one of life's simplest pleasures. And it's great. It's like someone delivering a fruit basket to your home one afternoon. You had no idea. You're just sitting there, teachers droning on about the Civil War, and all of a sudden there's like a little knock at the door. There's a little knock at the denim door. Hello? Oh, who's there? Oh, Well, look who's here, Mr. Penis from out of town. Wow, yeah, you look great. Look at you. Oh, yeah, you're all tan. You look great. Yeah, big purple hat.
Stop. Come on.
But you don't get it anymore. Here, let me tell you. Now you spend your life looking at your penis going, Mach Schnell, let's go. Come on now. Come on, let's go. In the car. All right, Drew, you ready to move on?
Yes, please.
You don't get that. Yeah. Although if you ride on the bus for a while, you'll get it, because that sort of constant. Rebecca?
Yeah?
14?
Yeah, hello.
All right.
Hi, I have this problem. One of my boobs is a size C and one of them's an A. and I feel like really weird about it because I haven't told anybody yet, and I like want to tell my mom because I want her to help me, but I don't want her to like see my boobs or anything.
Oh, you should tell your mom. I mean, it's normal. It's very common for that to happen.
Like how many girls?
Oh, most women, not most, many, if not most,
Really?
have at least some asymmetry.
I should go to like a doctor.
Hang on, Rebecca. Hold on. That there's frequently some asymmetry that persists. One side bigger than the other, shaped differently, that kind of thing. But as you're developing, that can be even more pronounced. So it may just be that way for a while. It doesn't mean it's going to necessarily stay that way.
Oh.
Okay, but you should tell your mom. This is the kind of thing you should start to feel comfortable talking with your mom about.
Because I told my friends.
Isn't that amazing? Tell your friends first.
They all they freaked out and they haven't like talked to them since. I don't want them to go around and tell everybody and stuff.
Do you sleep on your side?
What?
Do you sleep on your side?
Yeah.
That could be something. Drew, seriously now. Is that something?
Yeah.
Which side?
The big side. It's like God's kickstand, that C cup. It's holding you up.
Well, it hasn't been that bad because there's these things called accents that I saw on TV, and they're like gelatin. You can go in the water with them and stuff. And I don't know, it's like not that bad. But do you think I could get like a boob job at this
If
age?
that's it, if in 1920 this is still the same, then yeah, that would not be a problem at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
All right.
even if the other
talk
one,
to your mom. Talk to your mom.
Rebecca.
Yes.
Even if the other one balances out to C, and you're 19 or 20, you can still get a boob job.
Out?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Rebecca.
It
frequently balances out.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my ass cheeks was bigger than the other all the way through high school.
Or hairier. The hair was always evenly distributed.
Drew, you're always going there, aren't you? Remember your Hippocratic oath, Drew.
I'm remembering.
Not to mock people and their afflictions, their disabilities. This is no different than any other handicap. Hair on the ass is no different than
then leave it there.
Losing one's eyesight.
Then leave it alone.
Deaf, losing a limb, perhaps. It is the same. As a matter of fact, I should get special parking. Like a little blue thing that I put up on the dashboard with like some guy with like a nappy ass and like a guy with a lawnmower or something. It's something that enables me to get the prime parking. Do you think so, Drew?
Oh, sure.
I'm going to make a campaign.
Yeah.
I'm in the media, so I'm going to start this.
Good.
Brian, 25.
Yes. Dr. Drew, about LSD usage.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I've done that, or I did it in the past quite a few times, and I have problems with anxiety. I'm just or anxiety and depression, actually. I'm just wondering if there's any correlation between.
Have you ever heard me speak about that before?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, and that, in fact, is the most common thing that happens from LSD, and I worry about it like crazy for people that do even a modest amount of that drug. Any exposure to that drug before the age of 15, any large hit, any exposure above, say, 20 or 30 times, we don't know how many for a given individual, is highly correlated with this kind of symptomatology, beginning usually like 10 years after you stop using. And it's very chronic and recalcitrant, and it really needs medication to get better. How long ago was the last time you used?
I haven't used it for a number of years.
Yeah, and that's usually the case. It's years later, and that's why people who use it are able to maintain such massive levels of denial about it. It's like, oh, everybody, so-and-so's using, he's fine. Well, guess what? You're using when you're 17, but when you're 30, all of a sudden this hits.
Right.
And it's recalcitrant, it's biological, and it's the other thing that it's correlated with is seeing trailers. Do you still see trailers after fast moving?
Yeah, see, I've had a problem with that.
Yeah, and those are the people that typically get this. So you're a classic case. And you got to see a psychiatrist and get medication.
Well,
for that.
actually, I have been already.
Good.
What kind of medication?
Well, it's usually a lot of medication. Yeah. Well, but usually Prozac isn't quite enough for this.
Really?
Are you getting better?
Yeah, I've
All right.
actually
Good.
been better.
Good.
This is the second time it's happened.
Well, it's highly correlated with LSD. I've seen it over and over and over again. That's why I beat on my chest about this all the time.
But on a better note, on a more happy note, you can be whacked out and never do LSD, right?
Of course.
You could need Prozac.
Of course.
But I wouldn't call myself whacked out.
Right. No, I understand.
He has a biological problem.
Nutball.
That's why he's asking, is this something I did to myself? Because it seems so out of context for him. This thing just happened to him, right?
Right.
And he's just having all these symptoms, anxiety, depression. It doesn't
All
correlate
right, but
with their...
is it going to go on for Brian's whole life?
It can.
Oh, why do you say that,
Because
Drew?
it can.
But because I spoon-feed you these
because
things.
the fact is it can be treated, though, and as long as he stays in treatment and is watched carefully, it can be treated quite effectively.
All right, but I believe in the power of the mind, not necessarily Brian's feeble mind,
Or
but
reality.
the mind in general.
You don't want to hear reality, do you? You just don't want me to...
No,
you believe,
absolutely not.
Yeah, right.
I believe that if I say, Drew, but this stuff goes away with a little warm water after about a day, and you went, oh, absolutely, Brian would be cured.
It's not. I wish it were that way. I'd say stuff like that all day long in my practice.
Brian?
Yeah?
Good luck.
Okay.
Drew, what about this concept I just came up with? We flush people like a radiator. You know what I mean? Hasn't technology gotten far enough along to do this? Aren't you people working on anything over there in the lab?
No flush.
Where you just hook somebody up to something. I mean, everything comes out. I'm talking about, Cheetos from 1969. I'm talking about the carbon monoxide you sucked up when you fell asleep in the back of Zorbac's frickin' trailer all the way out to Yosemite and almost died.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't tell you about that?
Yeah, I'd like to hear more.
I'll tell you when we get back. Well, next week, kiddies, we have Slayer. We have Dr. Mancini from Melrose Place, and we have the band Imperial Drag. So, full plate. What did I say, next week?
Yeah.
I should say later on this week. Totally, we should not be working tonight. It felt weird driving in here. I felt like I was at Bobcat's house.
Really?
I was at Bobcat is having a birthday party.
Oh, really?
Son of a bitch, turning 34.
Oh, wow, he's young.
He's young.
Amazing.
He's done so many. Adam Sandler was there, and Michael McKean, from the other half of Lenny and Squiggy and all the Spinal Tap and all that, and a bunch of other celebrities who I can't recall right now. Great food, live band.
Wow.
Lives in a big house on a hill. It turns out he lives only a couple miles away from me.
Huh.
I came up there, was having the time of my life,
And you
just
had to
when the
come in.
barbecue was getting fired up. Beer. People were in the pool. It was just an awesome outdoor party with no expense spared, and I had to pick up and leave. So I stole something on the way out, just to kind of cushion the blow a little bit. But we shouldn't be working. By all rights, I should be at that party, getting loaded and talking to Lenny.
You can go back.
All right. And we'll have more Loveline in a second. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191. Fax number, 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. He's Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine, bad related.
And what were you telling me? We were talking about something as we walked.
Zorbac.
Oh.
Yeah, now, my mom will listen to the show on occasion, so I want to tell her name is, I don't know. But, Ma, if you're listening, please relax for a second here.
She didn't know about this story?
Well, no, she knows about this story, but she'll kill me because she's very reclusive, my mom. But she's a very quiet woman. But my mom went through a little stage, as many parents. I'm now, actually, I'll be 32 tomorrow. That's right,
birthday.
yes. Thank you, Mahalo. The deal is our parents were hippies, a lot of them. A lot of them went through that sort of stage, and
It was not a good thing for the kids.
Let me tell you, my mother, as far as the hippie, my mom was like, she was driving the VW bus. She was the king hippie.
Yeah.
She really was.
Yeah.
And, did all the things that the hippies do,
Yeah.
which is not work and smoke a little hooch and make some sandals and arts and crafts. The hippies are basically in arts and crafts because they can't afford real tools and things. So they basically buy a bunch of leather and they stick a bone through it and they turn everything into a hash pipe. But she was going out with this guy named Zorbac. Zorbac was sort of the king hippie. She was like queen hippie. And he was a cool enough guy, sandals, peace, love, and all that stuff. And this is 20 years ago, and we were going camping because that's what hippies do because you get in touch with nature that way, and it don't cost anything. And this guy drove it was like a Partridge Family bus or something. That's another thing you could do when you're a hippie. You could take old stuff like farm equipment and stuff and turn it into your car. This guy drove the slow kids bus?
Right.
He drove like the short bus.
Right.
And we're driving out to Yosemite or Big Sur or something, it was a few hundred miles. And this guy had like a like a screen door in the back of the thing. It was like a screen on the back window. And there's like a little bed there.
Oh, my God.
And I fell asleep. And all the exhaust was being sucked back.
Over here.
Like it's like when you drive your car, if you open the hatch, if you have a hatchback, you'll smell the exhaust coming through the back. Well, it's that way all the way out to Yosemite. But luckily, right before Yosemite, we stopped. I fell asleep. I must have been asleep for maybe an hour and a half or two, sucking up all this carbon monoxide. This is how, was it Bjorn Borg died? Huh? Who was the tennis guy
player?
died?
I forget who it was, but yeah.
Yeah, it kills you. It's a great way to go. I don't recommend suicide to anyone listening, especially not if you're filling out any of those books. But if you're going to kill yourself, this carbon monoxide, it is painless.
Yeah.
Because what it is it's like you start sucking it up and you go,
I'm sleeping.
And you go to sleep and you never wake up.
Yeah.
So I was about to never wake up, but Zorback got the munchies. God knows why. And we stopped at like a Albertsons or some market on the way there. And they left me in the car and they went in there, in search of, snacks and lighter fluid and God knows what else you need when you're camping. And I woke up for some reason, and I wandered into the store looking for them. And I was staggering all over the place. Wow. I went to the back. There was a bathroom in the back of this market. I fell asleep on the tile floor.
My God.
Some guy had to, some bagger had to come wake me up and rouse me and get me out of there. Some woman wanted me. Why is this, too, by the way? And then I'll not go on any longer. And, Drew, you don't know this because you don't get stoned. But if you've been stoned, when you get stoned, somehow people know you're stoned, and they come up to you and ask you to do weird crap that they never asked you to do before. And I can't figure out if it's because you're stoned or they know it's you're stoned and they're coming up to you. Or you just, you know what I mean?
Right.
But all of a sudden you run into, like, your gym coach, and they'll start asking you weird questions. All weird stuff happens. So I was out of it, and this woman came up to me, and she asked me if I could open a package for her.
Oh.
Like a thing of pretzels.
Oh, my God.
And I was, like, struggling with this. I was biting on it, and I was, like, kicking it, and I just fell over, and somehow then Mom and Zorback found me there in the, cleanup aisle 3 and dragged me back into the van.
Did they know immediately what had happened, or they thought?
I told them I wasn't feeling right, and they surmised it was from leaving the back window open.
Oh, my God.
Now, Drew, could I be hurt? You could have
Lord
been. Knows what I did to my brain cells back then.
Yeah, it could have been.
Is it permanent?
It's not likely to be, but it could have been. Not likely to have been, but it could have been.
Okay, thanks for committing to that, Drew. Teresa, 20, you're on Loveline.
Hi.
Hey.
I had a problem that I just wanted to talk about. Just see if you can help me out. Let me know, like, what can I do?
Okay.
Okay, this is what's going on. I was supposed to be married, and 2 weeks before my wedding, my mom takes off with my fiancé's uncle.
Ugh.
Okay?
Was your mom married?
Yeah, she was married to my dad for 2 years, 5 children, and she took off on top of my dad and me.
Wow.
And after she came back for like about a month later, my dad accepted her back. When she walks into the front door, her first words were to me. She said, "I jumped your claim, didn't I?"
Oh, my God.
And now my friends and family think that I should just forgive her, put everything in the past.
Oh, my God.
And forget about it. But
how can you?
I find it really hard
You
to
can't.
do something like that.
That's ridiculous.
It didn't happen to
It's
them.
what, Drew?
Ridiculous.
Thank you.
Huh?
How long were they out of town together?
About a month.
Oh, my God.
Really?
Teresa, that's ridiculous. That's horrible that people would make you suppress your feelings like that. I mean, you have feelings that are viable, understandable in response to a pretty heavy hit here.
Certainly for Dad. But let me tell you,
Teresa feels abandoned too. I mean, look at her. Not only did she abandon the mom, abandoned her.
Embarrassed.
She embarrassed her. She invaded her new family. It's just terrible.
She could have ran off with Zorback. I mean, things could have been worse.
But it's not the first time she's ran off on top of my dad. When I was 13 years old, she ran off with the kid around the corner. She was 36 and he was 17.
Ugh.
Wow.
She was off with him.
Mom is not too healthy, is she?
No, she's not at all.
Is she doing drugs?
Huh?
Is she doing drugs?
Not at the time when I've known her.
What does that mean?
Not at the time when I've known her. I haven't seen her for like about a month and a half now. But she still calls now and then. I just won't answer her phone calls.
What's your dad doing? I mean, did he take her back just so he could be mean to her? Because that's what I would have done.
No, he took her back to try and straighten everything out and keep our family together.
For the kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straightening her out would be as easy as straightening out corrugated siding, I could imagine.
Yeah.
She sounds like she's so wrinkled.
Yes.
She's like a prune. This person.
Yeah.
Yes, I would just cut my losses with this one, especially after the second. First with the neighbor kid, and next time with Uncle Lou.
Yeah, but now you're thinking like her dad. What should Teresa do? What should Teresa do with her fiance?
All right. So you still want to get married?
No.
No, you're not getting married anymore.
No. I broke up with him.
And also understandable. I mean, think of all the baggage going into that marriage she would have. Plus, she's 20. Do you think a 20-year-old should be getting married under circumstances like this?
Let me think. No.
Okay.
No. But what do you mean under circumstances like this? I don't think a 20-year-old should be getting married even with a gun to their head.
All right.
But Teresa, but still, you didn't have to ruin or cut off the relationship with this guy.
Well, because it's his uncle, and that means if I married him, that means I'd have to see his uncle now.
Oh, yeah. She'd feel angry with the husband.
Guy, his name is Larry. They call him Kojak.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see him, and I can't stop him from seeing his uncle either.
Your mom ran away with a bald guy or a dead guy?
Bald guy.
Okay.
He should have been dead.
All right. So you hate your mom.
Definite.
People are telling you to do something that you don't want to do, which is forgive and forget.
Right.
But she's humiliated you.
Right. And it's so embarrassing for me, too.
Right. Okay. So here's the deal. Your fiancé's out of the picture. You don't care to repair that relationship.
No. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't because it wouldn't.
All right.
It would be a blessing from the rest of my family.
All right. All right. Here, Teresa. Let me say, you Catholic? Yeah.
Well,
okay, listen. Forget about the family for a minute. I hate to send this message out to the youth of America, but sometimes your dad's an a-hole, your mom's a bitch, your mom runs away with the neighbor kid, and Uncle Kojak humiliates you. There comes a time, especially at age 20, when you realize, hey, my parents suck. I mean, it's sad, but it's true, and you cannot go on living your life waiting for their blessing, or worried about why mom won't forgive you or why you won't forgive your mom. I mean, it's sad, but there is a time when you need to sort of cut your losses. Your mom is not a stable person. Your mom is not a mature person. She's not a thoughtful person. She's definitely a selfish person, and she screwed you, and you're pissed off.
Either.
And she's not a mom.
Right. She's not
That's right.
Mom.
So why patch something up with someone who's not a mom? I mean, maybe, 20 years from now or 5 years from now, but you don't need to do it now. You can go on. As a matter of fact, this makes people succeed in business. Believe me, all the business people I know who are go-getters are all pissed at their parents, all pissed off at their mom, and they're going to go show the world. Come on, Drew, you know what I'm talking about. The successful people, they're all whacked out.
Right. Dr. Drew, tell me if I'm wrong. If anybody should apologize and make up, shouldn't it be her, not me?
Oh, if the story that you're telling it is accurate, then of course.
She even came in and told me that she jumped my claim.
Yeah, Teresa.
With a smile from ear to ear.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, Teresa.
No, but I turned around and told her it was only fool's gold.
Yeah. All right, that's good. You guys are
don't even worry
tit
about
for tat over there.
Don't even worry about telling her. Just worry about getting on with your own life.
Mm-hmm. All right. So it turned out to just be pyrite. But that's all right here on Loveline.
If you learned nothing in high school, how did you learn that?
I think I learned what pyrite was before Zorback poisoned me with that carbon monoxide, and it must have stuck.
So really, you had like this huge education in high school. It just vanished after the carbon monoxide poisoning.
They were grooming me for West Point before the whole carbon monoxide thing kicked in, and then I went to carpet cleaning.
Yes.
All right, Ben.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I got a problem with actually more along the lines of I need some information towards smoking marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that I get real uncomfortable when I'm out in public or when I'm at work. Even like when I'm sober though. Like if I get high that night, I go to work the next day or whatever.
It'll stay in your system a couple of days.
Right, and I'm familiar with that, but I get real uncomfortable being around people, and I find myself wanting to be antisocial in a way.
Some people react that way to that drug.
Are you antisocial anyway?
No, I mean I smoke weed so regularly and for so long that.
So is it becoming more pronounced lately?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what'll happen after you smoke it for several years is you'll start to have mood disturbances, you'll start to get irritable, you start to get forgetful, you start to have trouble socializing with people, you have trouble concentrating. And this is the biological injury on your brain from the pot.
No, but I'd say a small price to pay for having a good time.
Well, it's substantial.
Actually, it's quite a large price to pay.
Ah, see?
See, Ben, I said that just to coax the correct answer out of you.
Thank you.
Of course, I don't really feel that way.
The problem is, if you're really a marijuana addict, it's very difficult to stop. People usually either switch over to something else, or they have to get some kind of intervention, some kind of help, because it's a pretty serious form of addiction. And,
see, it's not necessarily the addiction to where I feel that I need it, though.
Then don't do it.
I don't feel that I need
Then don't do
to
it.
smoke marijuana.
Then don't do it.
But I do it because I like smoking marijuana.
Well, that's how everybody. Every addiction is about that. That's every addiction.
Yeah,
and the fact is, when you stop, unfortunately, when you at this level, when you stop smoking, those mood problems get a lot worse, and they can really be quite severe when you try to stop for up to the first year after you stop.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, Ben.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Get some help.
And my guess is if Ben ever stopped for 10 minutes, he would eventually need it.
That's right.
He just
never waits long
He picks
enough to
up the
find out.
pipe before he actually needs it.
That's right. But actually, and needing it is a relative term. I mean, addiction is not about withdrawal or dependency. That's dependency. But it's about being unable to tolerate being without the substance, not because you have withdrawal, just because you don't like how you feel without it. You want to use it.
Right.
You
So you're
respond to
saying
the reinforcing effects of the drug, and so you use it.
Right. Any reason? And so you're addicted to something if you continue to use something
in spite of consequences.
Okay.
This guy's having he just mentioned all these terrible consequences. Hey, but I like to use it. Well, guess what? If you weren't addicted, those consequences would have made you stop a long time ago.
Jennifer, 31.
Hi.
Hey.
I have a question for the doctor.
Yeah.
What do you know about the fen-phen diet?
A fair amount. What do you want to know?
What you think of it, and
I have prescribed it. For a while there, when the press was so hot about this, somebody would come in and demand I prescribe that to them at least once an hour. That went on for about a month.
Same person?
No.
Okay.
And for some people, I have prescribed it. I think it is a reasonable risk for people that have medically relevant obesity. That is to say, the risk of taking medication like this is less than the risk of staying obese.
Drew, am I right to say that medical obesity is defined by being 100 pounds over your target weight or average weight?
That's a reasonable way to describe it, yeah. That's one way of describing it, but that's a reasonable way. But what this is phentermine and Pondiment. Pondiment is basically an antidepressant. Phentermine is basically speed, an appetite suppressant. It is absolutely out of the question for people who are addicts who have mood disorders. But if you the Pondiment, interestingly, has in laboratory animals been shown to cause the same changes in rats in their brain as ecstasy, as MDMA, which are rather substantial. So I worry about the long-term effects of the Pondiment.
what type of change?
Disturbances of the normal architecture in the region of the brain called the amygdala. Now that was in higher doses than you would usually give a human, but not that much higher.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a quick question. Why are we so closely related to the rat? I mean, why do they test everything on rats? I don't like that.
Because, well...
I like maybe a chinchilla or something.
For these issues...
Something furry. Something cute.
For things like addiction and mood problems, and mood centers and things like that, our brain is closely related to theirs.
Yeah, but you're seeing how big a rat's balls are? I mean, it's like half the size of their body, those rats' balls.
I've never seen that.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah, you got to go to the right lab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tremendous.
So Jennifer, I have my real concerns about this, but again, if the risks, if it's medically relevant, if you're diabetic, hypertensive, and it's important for you from that standpoint, then yeah, by all means.
Jennifer, how big are you?
I'm thin now.
And it does work, by the way. And if you have an eating disorder or ever had an eating disorder, it's also out of the question.
Because you just chuck it right back up, right?
No, it's because it just reinforces the pathology of an eating disorder.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're thin now? How big were you?
Only about 8 pounds more than I am.
Then forget the fen-phen diet, okay?
Please, Jennifer.
Don't even think about it.
No, I mean it made me feel very much in control and happy with my size. So
yeah, the doctor coming in there 8 pounds overweight and asking for fen-phen probably gave you a couple of razzles.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, do you ever give people placebo stuff and tell them, oh yeah,
you can't? It's against the law.
It is?
Yep.
Well, that's a crappy law.
It is a crappy law.
Because you could save some money. You could really pocket a lot of money because you wouldn't have to cut the drug companies in. Number two, you'd probably...
drug companies, you don't get cut in with drug companies.
Well, what about all the free golf and going to Hawaii and all that crap? I know the booty. I know the game, Drew.
Adam, I spend an hour a day on average with drug reps in order to get free medications to give my patients.
Right. And How much of that hour are they blowing you? Be honest.
0.
Angel.
Hello?
Do you enjoy doing this to me?
You
really do, don't you?
20.
It's the best part of your day.
You're 20. You're on Loveline. You know what it is? Because this TV show thing we're doing is coming up in a few months. I'm just getting it all out of my system. All the good stuff. All the fun stuff.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
I did have pet rats, and you're right about their testicles.
Tremendous scrotum on those rats.
They're like as big as their heads, though. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah, tell me there's a God. God would create a creature with his nuts, his front side as big as his backside. He has to drag around essentially a flesh anvil all over the cage. And let me tell you, a rat has a very active lifestyle. No need for balls that size.
I know. It's weird.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Angel.
Yes.
I was kind of kidding. You sound like you're getting pretty serious about the rat scrotum thing. So, all right, take it easy, please. Get outside more.
All right.
All right.
Okay. My problem. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, my problem is that I date guys, and the thing is that 2 things happen. I will either end up sleeping with them, and immediately after not liking them at all, like they will say something like, I really care about you, and I'm like, oh, God, get away. Or I just lose, I just don't want to be friends at all then, I just don't like people after I sleep with them, and I don't know why.
You don't bring the rat ball thing up, right?
No.
Okay, good. So keep that to yourself. You go out with these guys, you sleep with them, you never want to see them again.
No, and I feel like some weird guy who's just mean or something.
Right. You're doing what guys do.
And honestly, it's really sad that people end up liking you more when you care less.
Right. Oh, they love that.
I don't know why, though. It makes me really, mad at myself.
Let me tell you how the human nature is. You take some crap, you put it on a fishing string, someone will walk up to it and reach down and you pull it, they'll chase right after it. Big, stinky hippo flop. They'll chase it all the way down the street. Get hit by a car chasing hippo flop just because it's going the other direction. I know the psychology of the man and the female.
I don't know what to do.
All right, Angela, let me ask you a hypothetical.
What?
What if you were with a guy who was as big a a-hole as you? Wouldn't you be attracted to that?
Yeah, but...
All right, hypothetical. I come over there, I sleep with you. All right?
Yeah.
All right, now, I sleep with you. And when I'm done...
You never call me again.
When I'm done, I'm done, and I take $5, I mop my brow off with it and stick it to your forehead and say, thanks for the lay, babe.
Oh, my God.
I'll see myself out. Now, tell me you wouldn't dig me.
No, see, the thing is, I don't like people that are initially that rude. I wouldn't like somebody who's rude. I think I pick, pretty normal people to, hang out with or date. And I've even tried to make, a little guideline, just be friends with guys.
But it's when you achieve some degree of intimacy that you,
right when they like me, then
right. It's when you're on the line to be close with somebody.
Yeah,
that you reject.
Ugh, sorry, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
But I don't have a trauma
But you don't. You have whatever.
You're scared.
Yeah, you don't want intimacy right now. You're afraid of it.
You don't want to let him in.
I don't know why though. Everyone wants to be happy with someone.
Yeah, but some people don't want to risk the happiness, the alleged happiness, for the sure disappointment that's going to happen when they break up, or when you catch him sleeping with one of your friends, or when he runs off with Uncle Kojak somewhere.
Somewhere somebody disappointed you in such a way that you really haven't gotten over it, and you're just having trouble making yourself vulnerable again to that sort of a trauma.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. See, she lets them in one way, but she does not let them in where it counts, Drew.
That's right.
Where it counts most with a woman.
With anybody.
I'm talking about the back door.
Okay.
Hello, this is Jackie Mason. You know what Loveline does? They straighten out your problems with your love life, and we do it better than anybody.
Did he say we?
I don't know.
Because he was on the show for 5 minutes. What? No bagel? He didn't get a bagel and he left. People think I'm making fun of it, like I'm doing some kind of Jewish shtick here. But seriously, did he not want to know where the bagels were?
He was mad about that, yeah. That and that he wasn't getting paid.
And we do it better than anybody.
Hey, Jackie, it's 10:30 in the evening. We got the Goyim here manning the mics. We don't know from bagels at 10:30 at night, for Christ's sake. Pamela Lee comes in here. She's got to buy her own Pepsi. That's the beauty of Loveline. It's like Tony Bennett comes in and goes, could I get a Coke? And Ann's like, yeah, the vending machine up the hall.
That's right.
That gets pissed off when he wants change. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. He's Dr. Drew. And this is Molly. Molly, you're 15. You're on Loveline.
Hi. I have like sort of an embarrassing problem.
Oh, that is so good. Go.
Well, I'm 15, as you know, and I'm really thinking about having sex with my boyfriend, really. And but the thing is, his fantasy is about having a threesome. And I talked to my best friend about it, and she's really into it, and he's into it too with her. But I'm just so scared, about STDs and stuff. But I've never really had feelings for women.
Wait, this is your first sexual experience, or your first with him?
First, yeah.
Ever in your life?
Yeah.
Do not even think about having a threesome.
Really?
Don't even consider it.
Right.
Your concerns about STDs are justified, of course, but that is only one of many reasons that you should not be doing this. For crying out loud, are you even clear that you want to be sexually active with this guy at all?
Yes, we've been together
Why?
because I love him so much.
All right. I know where Drew's concerns lie,
but
by the way.
You see where Molly is? Where's Molly at emotionally? Madam.
I don't know. What city are you calling from, Molly?
Pasadena.
She's in Pasadena.
What state is she in? Where's she calling?
Maryland. She's
Pasadena, Maryland.
Wow.
We're not hillbillies out here.
Okay.
Pasadena. We think you say Pasadena. We think you're calling from California, where the Rose Bowl is.
Sorry.
All right. Now listen, Molly. Her state of mind is she wants to please.
No, right. Because why? What does she think about her boyfriend?
Because she thinks they'll be together forever.
And what? They'll get married.
What?
Yeah.
That's what she thinks.
Molly over here. What the hell?
That's
what she's thinking.
Molly, is that what you're thinking about your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're really serious.
Molly, guess what?
What?
That is very.
No. Yes, Drew's high horse out of the barn. Get that pen for me, Drew.
She has told you what she's thinking. What's he thinking?
He really.
No, Molly. Adam's going to tell you what he's thinking.
Okay.
He wants to have a threesome with his 15-year-old girlfriend he hasn't had sex with. She wants to marry him.
He's thinking.
He wants to marry me too. I mean, we've talked about having.
Oh, okay, Adam. Okay.
He's thinking, I got to put my penis somewhere in a hurry before my head explodes. I don't care where it is. I have to stash my penis. The cops or the feds are at the door. Stash the penis.
Well,
wait, don't flush it down the toilet, you idiot.
Well, what do I do with my friend who's already, into him too, and he's like...
What do you think is going to happen if he sleeps with her and you see that?
I'll kill her.
All right.
Well, that's what they're planning to do in front of you.
Oh, no. He will not.
What do you think that...
I don't know what's going to happen.
What do you think a threesome is?
I honestly don't know.
Hey, Molly, this is not somebody who is handling your emotions with respect or care.
I mean, she's my best friend.
All right. Well, I don't know why she's. I don't know what's going on with her. Maybe this guy's manipulating both of you. But your boyfriend is being very destructive, potentially, with your feelings.
How old is he?
Well, she's like 16 and a half.
How old is he?
He's been with like.
How old is he?
He is 16.
This guy,
16.
I guarantee you, is not thinking seriously about getting married.
Really?
This guy's thinking
about having kids with me and everything.
He can talk about it all he wants, okay?
Yeah.
But he is not. His desire to be physically intimate with you is to be physically intimate, not to be emotionally intimate.
Well, we've been together for 2.5 years.
Excellent. Then keep it that way. But by all means, do not have a threesome. Relationships in which threesomes get involved never survive.
Yeah,
especially at your age.
You got to be a rock star, really, to pull that off, and even then, it's difficult.
Well, I could.
All right.
Molly, if you want, first of all, if you wish for this to survive, in no way it will through a threesome.
Really?
No way.
So do you think my best bet is just to have sex with him? And
I think your best bet is to be very, very careful with
and just
him.
kill the best friend.
No, I think you ought to think twice before you have sex with any of these people.
And let me tell you, if this guy hears this, he's putting a bounty out on your head, Drew. Do you realize what you've just taken away from this 16-year-old?
Yeah, but that's all he's concerned. You put yourself in his shoes for a minute. What was he after? What was he thinking about? Was he thinking about marrying Molly?
No. He's not thinking about marrying her.
That's what Molly thinks he's thinking about.
Well, I know, and you enlightened Molly. I just can't. What the hell is everyone going? I mean, when I was 16. Just to find a penthouse in a garbage dumpster was like, for Christ's sake, that's it. This is going to hold me till graduation. I would hold it over my head, and a beam, the clouds would part, and a beam of light would hit me, and it'd be, and then, my dad would drive by, but That was the Holy Grail. I mean, for Christ's sake, just the Vegas ad in the back of the sports page where the chick was wearing a sequence halter thing.
That was your sex life for that year.
Threesomes.
Ridiculous.
And he's ridiculous, and he has them talked into it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Wow.
We need to educate our young ladies a lot better.
This guy's going to be a salesman.
Yeah.
He's already auctioned off his penis at age 16. Stanley?
Oh, hello.
Stanley, you're 16. You're on Loveline.
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Drew.
Stan.
Yeah. Well, I have this problem with my dad, and it hasn't been solved. It's been going on for years. And then, let me start from yesterday. I just went out. I bike everywhere. So I just went out, and then I got a haircut, and he didn't like it. And then he always gives me money and stuff, and he spoils me all the time.
What does
Your
that
dad?
mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? He gives you money?
Yeah, he gives me money all the time.
Yeah.
He spoils me, and I don't want the money. But see,
Son of a
when he gives
bitch.
me money all the time, I can't say you're
right.
Right.
Right. It's too.
So you're being abused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can't believe that. Give them some kind of 800 number for parents who give them too much allowance. True. Certainly, there's people
Stan,
who can help.
What's your question, Stan?
Well, I don't have a question. It's just that what can I do? It's just, and then I'm doing really bad in school. I used to do really good in school and everything too.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only problem me and him is just he wants me to get good grades and stuff. And when I don't get good grades, he just threatens me and stuff.
All right. I don't know exactly what's going on, but at the very least, you sound very depressed.
Yeah.
And the most sensitive barometer of a person's your age mood is actually your grades. If your grades suddenly drop,
oh really?
There's a high probability. Yours were always down, Adam. So
Well, no, I did. I started with a sort of high D, and I switched to a low D by the end of high school. So I think there was a certain form of depression going on with me.
From bad to worse. But indeed, it sounds like you are depressed, Alan, and you ought to find maybe a counselor at school or somebody you can talk to about how you're feeling.
Yeah,
so you need to sort through this fast, so you can try to pull out of this and get more productive in school and start feeling better.
Yeah, I mean, it happened yesterday because we just moved into this country 2.5 years ago.
Right, I mean, that's a stress by itself. I mean, I see a lot of kids. Southern California now has got lots of different people that moved in the last 10 years.
I haven't seen my
No
mom.
kidding. And everyone go back, by the way. That's my message.
You haven't seen your mom?
No, I haven't seen my mom in 2 years.
Why?
Because he lives in Europe, and then I can't go back, because. I'm going back this summer.
Of course you're depressed. I mean, your parents are separated, your mother's in another country, you're a new culture.
All right, let me solve Stanley's problem instead of just warm over his life like you've been doing, Drew.
Yeah, but I mean, he
Stanley, relax.
Okay.
Do you have friends?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
How many?
Actually, I have a lot of friends. I just
You do?
Yeah, I have them. I change my
good.
personality when I come home.
All right, shift. All right, here's the deal. Shift the personality and your attention a little more to the friend side. Now, you're not going to be able to patch up things with your dad overnight. It's a long, slow project. You can start on it, but right now you have to find comfort where comfort is, and that's probably with your friends.
Maybe not friends, plural, but even if you can find one friend who you can particularly get some support from, that would be very, very useful to you at this point in time. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, Stan.
That's
All
true.
right.
That's good advice, Adam. Solid.
I was? All right, and let me something that just popped into my head. It's a real freakish thing, but he was talking about high school, and we're talking about grades and that kind of thing. I just want to give a quick message out to Mr. Gregory. If anybody knows Mr. Gregory.
What school?
Taught at North Hollywood High. Taught driver's ed.
How old was he when he taught you?
50s? He was 87.
Yeah.
No, he was in his late 40s probably. He's still around.
Late
It's only
60s.
it's been about 12, 13 years. He taught driver's ed. I took driver's ed. He failed me.
Driver's ed?
I failed driver's ed.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Because Mr. Gregory decided on his own that he wanted a 20-page report at the end of the class.
Oh.
Otherwise, he would fail anyone who did not do this 20-page report. I sat there. I took every damn quiz. I filled out all the godforsaken Scantron sheets. I handed everything in. I showed up every day. But I couldn't do the 20-page report because I can't read right. I can't write. I can't read. I didn't have a typewriter. My parents didn't give a rat's ass. And I never turned it in. I mean, 20-page report was monumental to me at 17 or 16. Today, I'd have to quit the show and take a sabbatical for 6 months and do 20 pages of work. But then, impossible.
Yeah.
And but I thought somehow in the mercy, somewhere he's going to pass me because all I needed was a frickin' D for this goddamn driver's ed thing. And he did not bat an eye. He just failed me. So, Mr. Gregory, if you're still alive, and I hope you're not, but if you are, this is Adam Carolla telling you to kiss my ass. Kiss it, old bag, making $25K a year and driving a frickin' Yugo to work, not getting any sex. Look at me, I'm having a life of Riley, Mr. Gregory. Thank God you failed me, old... Yeah, I'm not going to say. All right, so again, Gregory, kiss my ass, and Dr. Mancini will be in next week, so we got that to look forward to. 1-800-LOVE-191. Phone number, Loveline. Fax number, 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. Later on this week's Slayer, Thomas Calabra, I said would be in next week, but it is kind of next week because it's Sunday.
It's upcoming week.
This week, yeah. Anyway, before Friday, these people will be in here, Imperial Drag, and producer Ann will be in, too. She's off having a lovely vacation.
Is she, or just off?
She's off.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's why producer Ann hasn't been chiming in, saying, huh? I wasn't listening. And if the show suffered, it's because producer Ann has not been here, and I'm sure you could all... You miss her, in her fact. And I miss looking through the glass and seeing that stonewalled grouper face she'd give me whenever I went off on a tangent. It was like, you go to the aquarium, you see the grouper?
Yeah, that's her.
That's it. But she's angular and she's beautiful because she's probably listening. Okay, KJ, 16, you're on Loveline.
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, what's testicular cancer? I want to know, like, what's some information on it,
What information do you want?
I mean,
It's definitely in the nuts.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't listen to the radio. Turn the radio off.
Yes, KJ.
Yeah, I wanted to know.
Go turn the radio off right now. We'll wait.
All right.
Because all KJ could hear is him saying, on a 5-second delay. So it just sounded like,
Oh, okay. I need to know, what to look for when I do that testicular examination thing.
Look for a pebble or a rock in your testicle. It's very hard when it's testicular
in it
cancer.
or near it?
In it. Inside.
No, near
Not
it,
in the skin. Inside.
Near it just means you're camping, right?
Inside.
Okay.
Okay, up inside.
KJ.
Yeah.
You got gravel in the sack?
I thought I did, but...
What's going on? You're supposed to have 2 balls in there.
Yeah, but I thought I felt like a third one, like about...
That could have been your penis.
Well, third, was it smooth and round?
Yeah,
Okay.
It felt just like a testicle itself. It was like...
All right, there's a lot of things that could be. You might just be feeling the sort of cap that sits on top of the testicle called the epididymis. You might be feeling a cyst, which is like a fluid-filled sac. There's spermatoseals and hydroseals and things you can get there. You could be feeling a hernia, so you ought to just have your doctor check it out. But if it's rock-like, if it feels like a pebble or a stone, then that's cancer. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You okay, KJ?
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me tell you, a guy gets around fine with one nut. Absolutely. Look at the one-nut wonder, Engineer Mike. He's
been cut off from his mouth. Yeah, he's been cut off from both of them.
He moves like a gazelle, though.
Yeah, he does.
And he comes into work, and his nuts show up about 10 minutes later.
They both work fine. I test them out regularly.
But he's cut off from them. He's disconnected from them.
It's been separated.
Yeah.
He got like a restraining order from his sperm.
The penis is very dysfunctional. Oh, jeez. God, that's been enhanced electronically in some way.
No, that's what you sound like, Drew. Ryan, 13.
Hi, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
This show is the bomb.
Thank you. You're the bomb, Ryan.
Hi, thanks.
All right.
I'm having a problem because, I was listening to Loveline one time, and my mom walked in, and, it was about masturbation or something, and she didn't like what she was hearing. And I just was wondering if there's, any way I can convince her that it's cool.
All right. Let me...
Listen to it.
Is she there?
Yeah.
All right. Let me talk to her.
Okay. She might get kind of upset, though.
That's all right. I'll straighten her out. What's her name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca?
Yeah.
How old is Rebecca?
She's 41.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Where are you calling from? Good figure what part of the country this is.
Hello.
Rebecca.
Uh-huh.
Hi, you're on Loveline.
Okay.
Rebecca.
Uh-huh.
Now, you're lovely, son, Ryan, has told us that you're a little upset about him listening to the show.
Yeah.
Well,
Am I really on this?
Yes, absolutely. So don't make a fool of yourself. But let me say this. I'm Adam Carolla. This is Dr. Drew sitting in for Dr. Drew tonight. Now, listen. Where do you want him to learn this stuff? Out on the streets? Behind some dumpster? In some back alley? With some guy named Stu? Dressed up in a sailor suit with a wind-up cap?
Well, but Rebecca, more the important thing is we point out to kids here is the consequences of the actions that Rebecca?
Uh-huh.
The consequences of the actions that these kids get into when they're acting out with these things too young or at all in some cases. I mean, it's really about them learning from their peers and the kind of craziness they manifest and the trouble they get into when they try these things out and they do these things that are unhealthy.
And here's the reality. I've never masturbated a day in my life, but it's important for me to sound like I have because I have to identify with the youth of America. You see?
Yeah.
You know how it goes. And Rebecca, you're not so old that you don't understand feelings.
Lay off Rebecca a little bit.
Wait a minute. Rebecca, you were young once.
Right.
That's why she doesn't want him listening. He's afraid how it might influence.
You had certain feelings and certain desires, did you not?
Yeah.
Now, you probably did not have a good forum in which to learn this information, did you?
Did maybe something happened to her because of that?
Trial and error. What happened, Rebecca?
What do you mean, what happened?
Young pregnancy?
No.
Mm-hmm. Any molestation in the background?
A counselor thought I was, but I don't remember.
All right. Well, at least you were screwed.
Did my son only give my first name?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We would never give your last name. We had a little counseling. Did he try to hypnotise you?
Why?
No.
Find out whether she was actually molested or not.
That's not a good way to do that. That's not.
No.
But the point is, I mean, it's natural enough that's not a good way to do that, Adam.
Why not?
You're giving me the puss now because that's artifactual. You can get information that's not necessarily accurate.
So you find out they skippered the Pinto too at the same time. It still doesn't mean it didn't happen.
But the fact is, it's understandable then that she'd have even more anxiety about him being exposed to this kind of stuff if she was traumatized when she was younger.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, but Rebecca.
Uh-huh.
You don't have any real objection to the show, do you?
Well, I mean, we're Christian, okay, and I'm getting married a week from Saturday.
Wow.
And I've been married twice, and I've...
All right, so you're not a great Christian.
Pardon me?
You're an okay Christian, but you're not a great one.
No, my fiancé and I have been together 1 year and 7 months, and we have not...
Oh, you haven't?
No, we haven't.
Well, because you had so much the first 41 years.
No, that's not why. It's because of my beliefs.
All right, but let me tell you, you're sharing these beliefs with your third husband. How much conviction can you have? I mean, come on. Me and my third husband we're very religious.
Yeah.
Yes, we pray all the way to the adult bookstore, as a matter of fact.
We do?
Please, Rebecca, this is your third husband, and you're giving us a lesson on religious morality? Listen to yourself.
Yeah, but she'd been through. She was sexually abused when she was younger.
No, I did.
And she can't, or abused in some fashion, has trouble sustaining intimate relationships.
Obviously.
And now having the structure of the church could really help her.
All right. There's nothing wrong with the church. Thank God it's only once a week, by the way. You don't want to do it every day.
Well, I disagree.
All right, Rebecca.
Going to church is once a week.
All right. I know, but God is always within you all the time, except for I think when you're in the bathroom. But I'm gonna look that up. But
I pray in the shower. So.
Are you serious? Because let me tell you what Ryan does in the shower. Now let's be serious for a second, Rebecca. Listen, please. Here's what happens. Here's what we're worried about. You take Ryan, you bring him to church, you dress him up, you take care of him, and every time the topic of sex comes up, you tell him to douse it, put it out, wait on it, wait till you're married, wait till you're older, wait till you graduate.
It's okay to say that, but to say don't think about it, don't listen to it, don't hear it.
Right. I'm saying this kid will snap in a couple of years. He'll be sneaking out the window. He'll be going over to the neighbor kid's house. Next thing you know, he knocks somebody up. I'm betting it's...
Just because he doesn't listen to Loveline?
Oh, absolutely.
No.
Oh, wait a minute, Drew.
I disagree.
What about your experience with food?
How come I can hear two people but only sort of hear the second one?
Because, are you talking about Drew?
Yeah.
Now, because Drew feels like he should get paid for the show, but doesn't really have to do it. He sits back in his chair.
Cut it out.
His high horse goes by every 10 minutes.
Is it true that Drew is Christian?
No.
No.
But I'm a physician, and I try to look at these things from what's healthy and clinically appropriate.
I am a devout Christian, by the way. I can tell you that the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, and he is going to taketh your son to a brothel by the time he's 16 if you do not give him a little freedom. You cannot keep him repressed. He's got all kinds of urges right now.
Yeah, but at least let him see the consequences of what these things do to people.
So
If you hide it completely...
Are you saying that I'm supposed to let my son just, go to bed with people?
No. You're not supposed to let him do that, but you let him let him make his own decisions about that by showing him the consequences of what happens when people do that.
Yes, Rebecca. All right? Mm-hmm. You'll let him listen. You listen, too. And have your...
Well, I have. My fiancé has, too.
Good.
He's heard some things that didn't sound appropriate, and that's why I walked in and heard my daughter listening to it, and...
All right.
It didn't... I'm not
let's just get to the bottom line. Do they have any of the lying around?
Any what?
Okay, all right. That's enough. We don't need them.
Oh, God. Let's go to this one. Come on. I'm embarrassed.
What are you embarrassed about?
You.
Oh, please, Drew.
Come on. Let's keep going.
What? No.
No, keep going. Keep going.
What? No. Yes.
Mike won't let us.
It's time to break. Yeah, we're almost out of show. Well, let me just recap for just 1 second.
Now, one time you went on a tirade about kids have nowhere else to go for this information. I like that.
Okay, that was good. And let me tell you something, too. It's hard to tell your kids to, think about good Christian fellowship with the third husband sitting around the house.
Right.
See, you have to lead by example.
Kids are very sensitive to hypocrisy, extremely sensitive.
That's right. And if I knew what that meant, I would be sensitive to it as well. Call, and that would be Lakeisha.
Hi.
Lakeisha McEvil, baby, where you been all night? Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. Your head's all messed up, babe. The clothes you're wearing just don't fit you right.
Lakeisha? Yeah, thank you.
You remember that Blood, Sweat, and Tears song, Lucretia McEvil?
We got just a couple minutes here.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay, I have this problem. I used to be on cocaine for 2 months, and then I moved, so it was hard to get it. But I've been lately I've been hooked on pot daily, a daily thing. I do it at school, at home, stuff. And every Friday, me and my friends go out and drink and stuff.
You're 15. You're 15, boy.
Yeah, I'm 15.
2 years, 2 months on cocaine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to know how to kick everything?
No. I like pot.
Well, which ones don't you want?
What do you want from us?
I don't want to be an alcoholic because my whole family.
Oh, okay, all right, Drew, go.
You already are on your way. Okay, just because you haven't chosen alcohol doesn't mean you're not going to be an addict. If you have the biological propensity to be an alcoholic, of which if your parents are alcoholic or one of them or both is alcoholic, your probability of inheriting that genetic makeup is about 50% on average. And if you are addicted to pot, addicted to cocaine, it suggests that you have that biological propensity. The problem is that at your age, to become this involved, this intensely, suggests that there's something else going on also.
All right, 30 seconds, Drew.
You got to get some help, Lakeisha. This is a critical time in your life. If you keep going down this path, there will be irreversible consequences. Okay.
My friends get scared of me sometimes because I get violent.
Which is all part of the picture here. Please get some professional help before you do something that makes it something you can't come back from.
Okay.
All right, Lakeisha.
Okay, thanks.
All right. And by the way, nothing wrong with your friends being a little intimidated, a healthy respect for you in a physical way when you're 15 years old. Because it's basically either you're kicking their ass or they're kicking your ass at age 15. It's one or the other.
All right.
So better they should be scared of you. But
something about the healthy environment you grew up in.
Not because you're taking elephant tranquilizer and have the strength of 30 men.
All right.
That would be known as an unfair advantage.
Let's get out of here.
I want to thank the lovely Lisa for doing the phones tonight, the beautiful Sherry for working her magic on the phones tonight, the one not wonder, engineer Mike, for sitting there and doing whatever it takes to make this show go out every night. I'd like to thank myself for coming in here and doing at least an average job behind the microphone, and Dr. Drew for coming in here and putting up with my shenanigans for the last 2 hours, and we will see you tomorrow night.
If you are still listening, you may feel the urge to touch yourself.
You've
You've been listening to Loveline.
The opinions expressed on Loveline, especially by Adam Carolla,
are not necessarily those of the staff, management, or sponsors.
Or even the character voices. Loveline, produced by Ann Wilkins for Westwood One Entertainment.